you'll need an 8GB or larger SD card and an 8GB or larger USB drive. The SD card will be completely formatted and wiped during the install because that's where we'll be installing Linux. However, the USB drive, as long as you have, I think, around like 7GB remaining, then you should be good. And you also need another computer that's connected to the internet that can download off GitHub. On the Chrome OS desktop, hold down the power key to shut it off. Then hold down the escape key and the refresh key at the top of the keyboard, and then tap the power button. You'll reach this screen. Hold down the control key at the bottom left of the keyboard and then tap the D key. Then press enter to enter developer mode. You'll see this screen again, and then you will restart, and hopefully it will start to enter developer mode. Now, unfortunately on these Chromebooks, if you try to enter developer mode the first time around, you might get this error that you see on the screen. And at this point, pretty much, if you leave it there even for an hour, it won't enter developer mode. So what I would recommend for you to do instead is to wait for 20 minutes, so set a timer, and after that, manually power off the Chromebook using the power button, and then turn it back on again using the power button. And after that, you let it reboot again, and everything should be good. You might notice at the top left of the screen now, there's a countdown from 5 minutes. And once that reaches 0, it will restart. And then you can sign in again and the Chromebook will be reset. And then you can move on to the next step. Download the most recent bootable image file of Linux on the GitHub page that I've linked below, and then copy it to the USB drive that you have plugged into your other computer. Plug in your USB drive and the SD card into the Chromebook. Hold down Control and Alt, and then to go to the shell, you press the right arrow key at the top of the keyboard, and if you want to go back, then just press the left arrow key. Type in cron os, all lowercase, and then press the enter key to log in. Type in lsblk to show all of the storage devices that are currently connected to the Chromebook. And then what you want to do is use the cd command to navigate to the root of your USB drive. Use the ls command again to ensure that your working directory is in fact in the USB drive. Type in g-unzip followed by the name of the Linux image file that you have downloaded previously. If you type a little bit, and then you can press tab to auto-complete it, so you don't have to type out the whole thing. Then press enter. This will take a while as it is extracting the files onto the USB drive rather than on the Chromebook. So just let it take its time. This is also why you want to have extra space on the USB drive. Run the ls command to ensure that the .img.gz file has turned into just an img file. To actually flash the SD card with the bootable Linux image file, you first type in sudo space dd space status is equal to progress space if equal to the name of the Linux file on the USB drive space of is equal to /dev/ the name of the SD card. You'll find that in the lsblk command. So if you just look at the side, in this case it was number 1. My internal storage was number 0. Then press enter. Once again, just let it run. It will take a while. I think it took me around 15 minutes. But once it's done, you'll be ready for the next step. The final command that you have to run is to ensure that the Chromebook can boot from the SD card when it first turns on. So here you type in sudo space cross-system space devboot USB is equal to 1, and then devboot signed only is equal to 0. Then press enter. Switch back to the Chrome OS desktop, then hold down the power key until it shuts down. Then you can unplug the USB drive, but keep the SD card in. Now turn on the Chromebook, and now hold down Control and then the U letter key. This will boot into the SD card. Now as soon as the countdown goes to 0 and you're on this choice screen, you immediately press free. Don't let it auto boot. Once you've pressed free, then you can press enter and it will boot into Linux.